Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I'm sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer an inhuman wretch, an unfeeling man, incapable of pity, void and empty of any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace hath ta'en great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer, with the quietness of spirit, the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on, and call the Jew into the court.
He is ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Make room, and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice. To the last hour 'tis thought, thou show thy mercy. Forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on his losses that have of late so huddled on his back, and now do press a royal merchant down. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why. I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humor. Is it answered? So can I give no reason, nor I will not. More than a lodged hatred and a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill?
Every offence is not a hate at first.
What, wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you think you question with the Jew. You may as well stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. Therefore I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no farther means, but with all brief and plain conveniency. Let me have the judgment, and the Jew his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
If every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish parts, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free. Marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under burdens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours, and let their palates be seasoned with such viands. You will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand here for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew, dost thou make thy knife keen. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none but thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned, thou inexecrable dog!
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but defend'st thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to cureless ruin. I stand here for law.
Upon my power I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today.
My lord, there stood without a messenger with letters from the doctor new come from Padua.
Salanio, read the letter.
Your grace shall understand that at the receipt of your letter, I am very sick, But in the instant that your messenger came, in loving visitation, was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I beseech you, let his lack of years be no impediment, to let him lack a reverend estimation. For I never knew so young a body with so old a head. I leave him to your gracious acceptance, whose trial shall better publish his commendation.
Where is he?
He attendeth here hard by to know your answer, whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart. Came you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You're welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed thoroughly of the cause, which the merchant here and which the Jew.
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow. Yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His sceptre shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. And an earthly power doth then show likest gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here. I tender it for him in the court. Yet twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times o'er, on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If that will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth.
There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent.
A Daniel come to judgment, yea, a Daniel. O wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray thee, let me look upon the bond.
It is, most reverend doctor, it is.
Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury on my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh, to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money. Bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid, according to the tenure, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear there is no power in the tongue of man that can alter me. I stand here for judgment.
Most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
O noble judge, O excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty. which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis very true. O wise and upright judge, how much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you. Commend me to your honourable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak me fair in death. And when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love.
Antonio, I am married to a wife, which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice them all, here to this devil, to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that, if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife who I protest I love, and I would she were in heaven, so that she may entreat some power to change this currish Jew.
'Tis well you offer it behind her back. The wish would make else an unquiet house.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most learned judge, a sentence! Come, prepare.
Tarry, Jew. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscate unto the state of Venice.
O learned judge, mark, Jew, a learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shalt see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured, thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
A Daniel, say I, a second Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here's the money.
Soft, the Jew shall have all justice, soft no haste. Thou shalt have nothing but the penalty. Therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less nor more than a just pound. If thou cutt'st more or less than a just pound, be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple, nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscate.
O learned judge, mark, Jew, a learned judge.
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee. Here.
He hath refused it in open court. Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture.
Shall I not have barely my principal?
Thou shalt have nothing but the penalty. To be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
Well, then the devil give him good of it. I'll say no longer question.
Tarry, Jew. The law had yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice. If it be proved against an alien, he seek the life of any citizen. The party against the which he doth contrive shall seize one half his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only.
That thou shalt see the difference of our spirit. I pardon thee thy life before thou ask of it. For half thy wealth, it is Antonio's. The other half comes to the general state.
Nay, take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house when you do take the prop that doth sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
A halter gratis. Nothing else, for God's sake.
So please, my lord the Duke, and all the court, to quit the fine for one half of his goods I'm content. So will he let me have the other half in use, to render it unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this favour he presently become a Christian. The other, that he do record a gift here in the court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
I pray you, give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it.